Legends assemble!
Hello, everyone.
What is going on, everybody?
You guys see the floating room in the middle?
Do you guys see the floating room? Hello, everyone in chat. Lee, Ash, Tori, nice catch. All the legends are here in force, ready to welcome our guest.
I don't know how to. I never got used to this. The reverse.
Oh, it looks like we're like in a Marvel movie.
Introducing in 5, 4, 3, 3
and a half, 2 and a half. I should have said 2 and a half, 2, 1.
It is
0.
It is Naomi.
Naomi.
I hate you guys. Dickheads.
Sorry, Naomi, we had to. As soon as you left, Nick had the idea. He's like, "Oh, we should get it rolling now. We should get it rolling now."
You say fuck on Twitch? I don't even know.
You can say anything you want on Twitch, and you can type anything you want too. I just have to. The auto mod will stop you from typing things, but I feel like every permutation of curse word has been approved. Like I think yesterday I approved "dick in the butt." And that's what I had to like. That was like that combination had to be improved. It's
we for other reasons had to not approve the word mommy.
We
right?
had to we have to ban the word mommy. Yeah. There's been a lot of mommy being dropped in chat. Nick has a couple of mommies in chat. That's what the people that claim to be Nick's mommy, and we don't really know who's the true mommy, but. Our mommy tonight is Naomi. And Naomi is a legend. You can write, there's Casey saying she's the OG mommy. You can type !guest at any point to find out more about Naomi. Check out her Twitter.
Yeah. Find out more about me.
And we're going to find out all about you tonight.
Yeah, you guys don't know enough over 10 plus years. This is exactly how you're gonna find out more.
My short term is terrible. Well, actually, no, my long term is worse. So yeah, we need to figure it out.
Also,
got it.
Naomi, Ixnay on the knowing you for a while, it needs to look like we're like courting guests, you know?
Yeah, I mean? We're not calling in like our friend. We don't have a personal.
I'm not a favor.
No, this is not a favor. You were allured by by our reach and our platform and our
the setup and the hard work. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. That's it.
We were having a good laugh before stream, and we said, let's just tell that joke again when we get on stream.
That's what we were saying. Yeah.
Well, I already forgot the joke, but.
Well, it starts here. Well, because what Naomi's been up to is that she just made a zine. Right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah. A little content transition screen we have here.
Oh.
You made a zine.
Yeah, on Instagram. Yeah, I did. And I had a lot of people who didn't know what a zine was, which is like really funny to me because I guess I thought it was a more, not universal thing, but I just thought it was a thing people knew.
Well, it's like don't know what a zine is. It's like a liberal thing, right? It's progressive because it's like a magazine, but you drop the "Make America Great Again," right?
Yes, I'm a woke liberal author.
I thought the joke worked more.
Not live.
You know, I always think this when I watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah,
I watch it every single night. And
you've been running through it, or you just watch like a Nick at Night, whatever's on.
It's kind of pissed me off though. They always want me to like side with Carlton, like he's the voice of reason.
Yeah,
he's not. But anyway,
dude, that's like freaking Sanford and Son went Lamont, right?
Yeah.
I'll keep that one in the family.
So at the end of the episode, there's always blooper reels because it's a live showing, and I'm always like, is that weird at the showing when they just do the same joke over and over until they finally get it? And how do they still laugh? Do you know what I mean? I always think that.
I've been watching Friends, and I've had the same thinking of like, they do a couple takes and people will laugh like just as hard at the same time. And I feel like the answer is that the masses are dumb. And that like they're just so easily entertained that they'll laugh at the same joke 5 times in a row.
I think that it's a mob mentality thing too. I think that it's easier to get laughs doing stand up to a crowd than it is to tell someone a joke like on a date or something. I think that when people are around other people,
Primed for it, yeah.
they laugh more. And so I think that they also feel like they're playing a part. Like you said, Naomi, they're a little stupider too, but like they're like they feel like they're part of something, they have a role, you know?
I feel the confusion on Friends of like how do they laugh even when they nail the joke on the first take.
Yeah.
I mean, rest in power, Matthew Perry.
Rest in power.
Is that why you're running it back?
Well, I don't know, kind of. I think like I've never seen it before, and I was fascinated by like this television show and my boyfriend and teen. Also, okay, I'm like such a hater.
Wait, don't tell people you have a boyfriend because they donate more money if they think you're single.
Sorry, but he's actually been recently gone. So
You're gay roommate.
my Venmo is at yeah.
Your platonic husband.
Yes. Exactly, my beard. I don't know, I'm just fascinated by this show is like it was like such a monolith, and I also feel like it's everybody's personality. Like it's like Friends, The Office, and Harry Potter. And I've seen enough of The Office and I've seen enough of Harry Potter, and I was just like, okay, but I haven't seen Friends.
Right.
And honestly, I'm hating on people who like Friends the least. My ranking is like if you're a person who's like actively into Harry Potter right now,
That's the
you
worst.
need to grow
easily.
up.
Yeah.
You need to grow up, get a job, move out of your parents' house, find any other form of media that can entertain you. Like at least Game of Thrones is like a little bit compelling most of the time. But like
don't muddy this up, all right? You don't need to give any credit to Game of Thrones. You can just
yeah, I also just rewatched Game of Thrones basically, and like that is a show that like the first 2 seasons are like, oh, that's really good and complicated, and then it also just
Were
gets
you held
bad.
at gunpoint? Why would you do that? The rewatch is
The male figure in my life who lives in my house wanted to watch it for the first time, so
I
I would
see.
join in on occasion.
Is it kind of interesting watching something like Friends for the first time? Like it's such a time capsule of
Yeah, literally a cutscene had the Twin Towers in it. You're like, oh my god.
Oh my lord. So crazy.
um
I wouldn't have thought about that at all. That's nuts. Oh my gosh. Hello.
I've said that always. If one of us died, it would really help viewership.
Correct. It would
In
be
this- The
Go
same.
ahead.
It would be the Matthew Perry effect.
It would be the Matthew Perry effect.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the P. Diddy effect.
Did you, Naomi? Have you kept up with Pete Diddy?
Occasionally. I mean, I've seen that he has settled out of court, and that means definitely nothing at all about his innocence or guilt.
Nothing at all.
Did you see the weird clips where he's talking to Justin Bieber, who's like freshly 15, and he's like, me and Bieber are gonna hang out for the next 48 hours. I can't tell you what we're doing, but it's every teenage boy's dream. And Justin Bieber's just like, ha 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 ha, like really nervous. And I've always thought,
I've never seen these clips, dude. That's nuts.
yeah, they were like,
That's nuts.
That's weird.
Well, I feel like
That's
Justin
so
Bieber-
weird.
could take down the entire entertainment industry.
But he's a piece of shit himself. Have you seen all the photos of like him and Selena Gomez? Like
All right,
Cook, Naomi. Let her cook.
the photos of him and Selena Gomez, where it's like very clear that they're going to like somewhere in LA to buy meth. Like those are my favorite.
Oh, so this is the episode where we mock drug addicts.
Shame on you, Naomi.
We make fun of the Hudson Valley's opioid crisis. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, if anyone noticed the speaking of Justin Selena, the thumbnail for our last week's episode, which is now available on YouTube and Spotify, everywhere you get your podcast, it is me and Nick on Justin and Selena at their hard launch. Did anybody pick up on that?
I didn't even pick it up.
Follow the clues, and you can unlock
clues.
the secret NickyBato episode.
There is a prize for whoever comments it first. And now everyone has the answer. So who's gonna get the prize?
Okay, so what is respectable about Friends that people who are still obsessed with it, you don't think that little of?
I think that at the very least, like, Friends is actually okay. The Office, I just think is like, everybody loves The Office and everybody loves comedy, and like, it's just like, congratulations, you love making fun of weird people. Like, yeah, good for you. We all love making fun of our coworkers. That's normal. That's part of life. Something about Friends is, I think that, and listen, I'm only 2 seasons in. I think that Friends is just like, yeah, you like hot people. We all like watching hot people date other hot people. That to me is like the most excusable thing. Kind of like How I Met Your Mother too, where you're like, yeah, we all like the comfort of a sitcom where like nothing changes and whatever. The Office to me is just so overdone, where at least Friends is for like the basic bitches, and I respect that. The Office is for like men on Long Island with no personality, desperately craving a personality.
It is beat to death, dude.
No, you know what?
It's funny. I think it's funny though.
I don't care.
You want to move on?
You know what? You know what I'm taking offense at? That
What?
she said Friends is about hot people.
Oh yeah, Nick thinks Jennifer Aniston in particular is one of the
None of
most...
them are hot.
None of them are hot.
Not even the
That's-
dudes.
Matt LeBlanc is so hot in the first season. Oh my god, what are you talking about?
Okay, so we know why you like Friends.
Wait, is Matt LeBlanc Joey?
Yeah.
I thought his name was just Joey in real life. That's why they gave him the show, Joey. I'm just kidding. But Old Man Sammy says, I was a How I Met Your Mother kind of guy. Welcome, Old Man Sammy. All the legends are finally in.
How I Met Your Mother. What a terrible ending, though. I still like fight with my male figure who lives with me about like whether that ending is good or bad.
I
think
never
it's a piece of
watched
shit.
that. I never watched that.
It's a piece of shit.
You're
ending,
fine.
so it's a good
You're
ending.
good. Can we walk it back to the P Diddy thing to just say that when I said the P Diddy effect, I wasn't referencing his abuse of Justin Bieber. I was referencing him taking advantage of his friend's death.
Oh yeah.
When you said that one of us could die and then the show would blow up because P Diddy is just famous off of Biggie dying, which is. We're not ready to go there. We're not ready to go there, I guess.
No, I think it would be better if you died.
Okay.
Because I could really flip that shit into something.
Okay, yeah, you could do a P Diddy, but I couldn't. You could flip that shit into everything. You think? Yeah. You would get all the You would get all my equipment. Yeah. You would get all the sympathy, boost the audience, boost the view, boost the. You'd get people to do everything else.
Yours would just be like your channel. One day would be different.
One day would be
still
different.
Have your normal streams.
Be like, hey guys, we're doing a memorial stream, and then on Tuesday, more Pokemon.
Exactly. Yeah. This is the Memorial Nick stream. This is the weekly Nick Pokemon stream. I just name every day after Nick. This is the weekly Nick fighting game stream.
Do you think that at funerals, like Twitch streams, you should raid other people's funerals after the funeral is done so that you make other people feel like there's more people at the funeral?
That would be awesome. Holy shit.
Like, hey guys, we're going over to the plot next to us.
Yeah. Everybody, I hope you kept your a little bit of tears for the next one, all right? That's some live studio audience shit. You have people crying all day, happy to be chatting.
I was talking to this old guy at in my grandparents' community. I was like playing pool with him in the clubhouse, and he's Jewish, and he was talking about the day you make a bar mitzvah. Like, how do you do it? Like he barred into his mitzvah, whatever that day was, where you
get mitzvah.
Where he got mitzvahd, yeah.
Not the word, but I think make bar mitzvah is honestly.
None of those were. We took like 5 stabs at it.
No, make bar mitzvah when you have the ceremony. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
You can't mitzvah as a verb. I feel like
Well, a mitzvah is a noun. Like a mitzvah is a good deed. So
so
like,
so mitzvah
but
would
that's
be.
not. It's you're not just doing a good deed and then you've been bar mitzvah.
Wait,
I'm
Like
saying
that's
you know how
not.
in the dictionary where they put like YOLO in the dictionary, could they put mitzvah as like a verb and like it's some new age lingo?
But then YOLO would be YOLOing. Is that a word?
Wait, so
Like,
It could be now the way people say it.
mitzvah
people are still saying
mitzvah means a
YOLO?
good deed.
Mitzvah means a
Yeah.
good deed.
I did a bar mitzvah last night. I bought someone a drink.
No, just a mitzvah, not a bar mitzvah. Just a mitzvah.
So anyway, when he
Everyone is distraught in chat. You're making the baby Bato Pops upset. They say if Bato died, it would be good character development for me. Okay, maybe that's another one. Everyone's gonna grow from it. Yeah, there's so much to gain
Yeah.
from me passing.
you're selfish for living a long, healthy life.
I am very
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pick up smoking again and
So
Yeah, guys,
just
at
eat
1,000
Reubens.
followers, Bato will commit.
commit mitzvah. I will mitzvah. we'll say it's I will self mitzvah.
So let's go back to this old Jew I know. He was doing.
How dare
And-
you call me that? How
I was
dare
just
you?
gonna say.
Okay.
I was just gonna say. And besides Naomi, that other guy you were talking
So-
to.
He like you have. I guess he had to give a speech in front of his temple. But he was expecting it just his family. But the day before, JFK died. So when he showed up to temple, there was like 600 people.
Oh, no.
They're not his family at all.
And they,
So his bar mitzvah got raided.
he got raided by JFK mourners.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Brutal. That's really funny.
Okay, should we get to the zine?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's bring it
let's
back
get
to
to
the
the
zine.
Let's talk.
Let's bring it back to the zine. Here we go. Now, first thing I wanted to say, the following list looks a little short, but that's okay. It looks a little short. That's all. It's three
Yeah.
following. That's all. That's all. The following list looks a little short. I'm gonna put the link to it into the chat as well. There we go. If you guys want to check out Naomi's zine, drop the follow for show. She may not follow back, but don't take it personally. She doesn't follow me, Nick, or her own brother, her flesh and blood back.
I like that you're supporting the Xander music brand, though. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I can't wait till Alec like becomes successful somehow, and I can be his manager and make money off him for the rest of my life, and then embezzle it from him. I'm
There
really
you go.
excited for that.
Well, if it would
After
help,
he's-
we can look at his page for a second, but we don't.
No,
this
no,
is
no,
the
no,
this
no.
is
He's not-
yeah.
he's
Let's
not
get
good
rid
enough
of it.
yet.
This is the Naomi show. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naomi has a zine.
Yeah, I made a zine. So the background of this is that I had been writing. Nick knows this. Nick and I exchanged
Liked.
writing some time.
Yeah.
And this is the last page though, so you might want to
Yeah,
go
yours-
to the bottom.
Well, I thought you didn't want reverse chronological.
It's not a
okay.
mango sabato.
I thought. Oh yeah,
know,
you
the
dropped
Torah-
the manga.
Torah is
It's just
actually
zine.
written the same way.
Here we
So
go.
you could probably do a bar mitzvah because you're such a manga nerd that it's read the same direction, back to front.
The Torah and Naruto.
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
Switch the letters around a little bit. It's fine.
So
Bar
this is
mitzvah boy
page.
Naruto.
This is page 1.
This is the cover. Yeah.
The cover, I should say. Correct. I'm gonna be
So-
liking all these as we go
Oh,
through.
thank you. I had made art and I'd done a lot of writing and I had made a short film and I was very scared by it and I never put it out because I was so nervous about being judged and about people reading my ideas and thinking that I was stupid. And so I really hid in the shadows for a lot of the pandemic and I just stopped making things when I was really doing a lot of stuff in college that I was like, oh, I'm everything we do is cringe at a certain point, right? You let 2 years pass and suddenly
Sure.
you're cringe. And I was like, well, I can't let that hold me back from doing things that I want to do. And I had all this writing and Nick and I have talked about writing before and I had not done it for a while. So then I said, fuck it. My boyfriend had made a zine a year and a half ago that I really loved reading and helping him make. And I was like, well, I guess I'll do it for me. And so then I started seeing all the stuff that I had written, and I realized, like, wow, a lot of this is about, like, being a woman, or oh my god, did I get a gift sub while this is
You
happening?
just
Yeah,
got
you
gifted
just
a
got a
sub
gift sub.
from the legend Ashley.
Absolutely legend.
Ash, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Naomi, you're
That's
a baby
so
Bato
funny.
pop once more. Hell yes. Thank you so much, Ash. Hell yeah.
That's exciting. Oh my god. I'll pay it forward at some point. No, and so womanly duties was like a joke about, like, what do I write in here? I can't even fucking read this.
Should we zoom in a little?
That well, you read me the caption back, and then let's
Here
talk
you
about
go.
what you think it is.
There you go. It's kind of a joke, as this scene is about both womanhood and not fitting the mold, and other ideas that are pretty transparent once you read them. Thanks for being here. Womanly duties.
Was your
Yeah.
boyfriend's named Manly Duties?
No, his was Enjoy Your Stay is what it was called. And that was just a bunch of random stuff. No, I think this was all about, like, womanhood, and but I also didn't want anybody to think that it was like, oh, if you're not a girly pop, you can't be here. Like, this is for everybody, I think, in some ways. Yeah.
Well, it started then.
Are we ready
Okay.
to turn
Go
the
left.
page?
Is this like popcorn where we're gonna go around the classroom and out loud read with each other?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, here's the table of contents.
Yeah, I made this in Canva, and a lot of these are, like, scanned. Like, they're scanned from different magazines and stuff.
Mhm.
So the Get Out of Hell card is, like, a card I actually found on the New York City subway that I love.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. You see
and
that down
then-
here, Legends? Hell yeah.
And then the I Win You Win is from a Better Call Saul ad in a magazine.
Oh, that's funny.
I love Better Call Saul.
I also made collages to go along with these poems. I love my Get Out of Hell free card. I've had it for years. You had that for years? When did you find that? Were you living
Yeah,
in the
I
city
have
at that point?
well, hang on. I had found it I had found it probably like 5 years ago on the subway, and I love collecting, like, pieces of paper that I just, like, if somebody writes me a note or if I find these random things. And so I scanned everything with the scanner we have in our apartment just to preserve it. And then
Yeah.
I realized, like, I had all these really fun scanned elements that I could Photoshop and sort of make their own individual. Hang on, I'll get my container of things that I have scanned, or, like, my
Oh, here we go. We're taking the deep dive into scanned
This is a deep
media.
dive.
Scanned media, the deep
Okay.
dive, dudes. Legends, are you ready?
This is like
Ah! Mic down.
I'm sorry. Sorry to the listening audience. You guys are amazing. I basically have this entire, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's full of papers and stuff of all my favorite, like, notes and things that people have given me over time. And it's got, like, tickets in here and stuff, but I scanned a lot of them and then used them in the background of, like, all the stuff I did. I don't know. If you write me a note, I will keep it. I'll keep it forever.
Absolutely.
It's
Let's
basically
write her
what
a
I'll
note
do.
after this.
We're gonna write Naomi a note.
Yeah. I have this is like, do you ever play the paper game? Paper game is fun, where you, like, you write a sentence at the top of a piece of paper, and then the person next to you you hand it, the person next to you draws it and then folds away the sentence, and then somebody has to draw or write the sentence of what they think your drawing is. And so this eventually became part Simpson looking at a martini, and I don't know why. Yeah.
That's really cool. I've never played that game. Well, you gotta try that.
That's a fun one. If you're bored at a house party, just
That's so cool.
bust out a bunch of paper.
I love that. I really love that. We usually just play Contact. That game with the one letter.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well,
You
we play kick him out the classroom.
kick him out the classroom.
Yeah.
That was good too.
Okay, let's go to
Let's
let's hit it.
Let's hit pluck. Let's go to pluck, baby.
Pluck.
Fuck is easy. This is like a 4th grade reading level.
Want me to read this one?
Yes.
Yeah, Nick, I'd love to hear it.
What does it say about me? That my favorite activity is ripping hair from my scalp.
Ooh. That's a good
Is
read,
that
Nick.
as fun as it sounds?
Do you think it sounds fun or not fun?
Well, I do that with my my armpit hair. I don't do it.
Your armpit.
You pluck armpit hair?
Oh, now we're all judging. Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm
Or
interested
just
in it.
clarify, or you scratch
Because
it?
I can't pluck the hair on my head because I'm always worried my next haircut is my last haircut. Because you're at that age where
We all have to fear it.
Yeah.
I feel like men everywhere fear.
So I can't
Fear
be
the
plucking
Reaper,
hair
yeah.
from my head.
Yeah.
So I got to find other places to pluck.
But you have the plucking desire.
I get the urge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people pull their eyebrows. And sorry if this is loud. I'm trying to put my mic back to place. Some people pull their eyebrows. They pull their eyelashes. I don't do that. So it's a disease called trichotillomania, which is like a hair pulling impulse.
Oh, wow.
And I do it all the time. And I like go through my hair. So I dyed my hair recently, and it's really helped me not want to pull my hair out. But I'm always like feeling for like weird little hairs or like gray hairs. And so this was all about like, what is the thing that I enjoy most sometimes, or it feels like the most soothing to me? And it's like just like yanking hair out of my body. And I always thought that was like something nobody really talks about. As I think I developed it as a stressor in like AP US history, I'm pretty convinced, which is like embarrassing.
Do you like keep them like Goldmember kept his scabs? Do you keep like the hair in a box?
No. I vacuum it up like
You vacuum it up, because I feel like I'm the opposite. Where if a hair falls out of my body, I almost don't know what to do with it. I feel I feel like that's still me. I feel weird.
There's that
I
girl
eventually
on-
just drop it on the
There's that
floor or
girl on
something.
TikTok who collects her hair that she gets out of the shower, and she like really meticulously untangles it, and then she tapes it to a piece of tape and makes like a wig, and she's like making a wig. It's crazy. I'll send that to you the next time I see it.
You know
on my
what's
timeline.
satisfying? You ever be out to eat and there's you get some hair in your food and it's in your mouth? That moment where you're like pulling it out of your mouth.
like a clown pulling the
Yeah.
ribbons out. Yeah,
I like that.
it is.
I do it more when I get hair in my food.
Don't you feel scared though that like it's gonna cut your lip? Like it feels like you're pulling a guitar string.
No.
Okay, maybe that's just my phobia. You're sick, LMAO. Thank you, Lee.
Naomi, do you have like a... Do you think it's like a pain thing? Because I like making my gums bleed for fun.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I take the little floss things and I like deliberately make them bleed.
Whoa.
What do you mean? So when you do that, are you going like on your gum like
So
this?
it's the
Or you're
ones that
going
you
between
fold-
your teeth and just going until they bleed?
I go between my teeth, but then I press down really hard.
Why do you like the pain?
I like it, yeah.
I think that
No one try it at home, okay?
I personally I think that like the pain stuff is like picking at scabs is fun. I pick off the nail polish. I'll get manicures and then pick off the polish. That's always fun. There's just something about like the like the scratching that I really enjoy, but I don't know if it's the pain. Waxing is honestly doesn't hurt that much for me, but I don't wax.
Whoa. Okay, it
like
hurts
everything. I'm
pretty
sorry.
bad.
I'm sorry that's triggering. I'm sorry.
It hurts pretty bad. I felt nervous when I got my nails painted that the nail polish was like I felt like it didn't dry, I was really nervous about keeping it dry, like I didn't want it to smudge or whatever. Then when it was dry, I was like, okay, but it felt like you'd never have nail polish on your fingers, and you'd think that it wouldn't really make a difference to you in your everyday life, but it feels like there's a weight on your fingertips, that it's like never been there. It felt like my hand was like way down because it was
Really?
like it was such a like significant jump, you know what I mean, from just a finger to like a couple coats of nail polish. It felt pretty crazy.
Did you ever suck on the polish?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I did not.
Someone say you're sick again. That was gross, Nick. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It stops being a judgment-free zone the moment I talk.
Dude. Possum said I should get an acrylic set. And Lee says I'll be acting
That'd be
different.
fun. Bato ASMR. That would be good.
That
should've-
that is my top ASMR when people click their nails together.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
fun.
dude.
And when you have long nails, it's like so satisfying.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to get my birthday set gel nails, so I'm really excited.
gel.
Yeah, excited. Yeah,
You guys horny?
that'd be good.
You
You do press
guys
ons.
horny?
Well, let's just go. Let's go to the next one.
Let's go to the next one.
Oh, Possums is so right. Misha will love the acrylics.
Misha loves the acrylics. Trust. That's right. Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh, I'm reading
You're up
again.
again. Do
Yeah.
2-2.
Idolatry. It's a play on adultery, right?
No, it's idolatry is like idol worship.
Oh, that's a real word?
yes.
I thought you were doing like a idiocracy.
No, it's
type
like
thing.
you know how you're not supposed to
You
worship any
did.
other god.
Okay. Blazing stardom you idolize. I see you the way you see her, and if only you saw me the same. Forgive my flaws so readily, and let me in so naturally. Be my biggest fan, I'm pleading. Can we take a picture together? That's really sweet. Well, it's depressing, but it's sweet.
Yeah. I'm so curious what you guys think of it. I know what it's about to me, but what do you guys think? Like,
Is it about Matthew
hear, this is
LeBlanc?
English class, guys. Let's hear the interpretations.
It's about Matt LeBlanc, right?
Yeah. You're so right.
I thought it was about Joey.
I
Mhm.
think
Show, not the character of the show.
this is like it's just like the this is like Paparazzi by Lady Gaga.
Interesting. I'd have never thought about that, but maybe I should put that on the accompanying playlist.
I need a second. Bato, you cook.
I'm just making this be English class.
Be my biggest fan. I'm pleading until you love me.
Lady Gaga, if you did like a Just Dance stream, Bato, and you're trying to dance to Gaga songs, that would hit.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a reverse, because you want them to be your fan. You don't want to be the fan. I think it's like Naomi, what sounds more appealing to you, being loved or being admired?
What a great question.
Yeah.
To me, it's being loved. To me, that's like the getting to like love someone 100%, like is the most fun thing in the world in some ways.
But that's you loving someone else, not them loving you.
Right, but then when you get it in return, when you can have a complete exchange of like, people say, oh, it's like a relationship is like 50-50 or whatever. It's like, no, it's got to be 100-100.
Boom.
And so I think that's really fun. So
That was
Hard.
to me,
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nice.
this is all about the idea of like how easily people love and forgive like their sort of pop idols, like their celebrities. Like, Nick, how much does Ariana Grande have to do before you'll dislike her?
I despise her.
It's already happened.
This is old news.
It's already happened.
Let me think of
Happened.
another person who could do no wrong. It's not Ariana Grande. We've been off that.
Selena now.
I do like Selena.
I feel like Lee also says 100, 150, 100, please, for a het relationship. It's true. There's all this parasocial stuff where I would hope that people one day will feel like I'm infallible. You know?
Right. Yeah, you want to be uncancelable.
Well, this is the
That'd be
thing.
exciting.
I still mostly like Kanye West, which is really bad because at this point it's pretty indefensible. But then I see people who, like, mine is with Kanye West, like one of the greatest celebrities ever, most transformative musician of the 21st century. But there's people who have what I have with Kanye with, like, Ethan Klein. And
Yeah,
that's like,
yeah.
those are the people where I'm like, you need to be
Yeah.
institutionalized.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and I think that that's kind of what this is. This is about a little bit like how someone is so happy and easy to forgive, like their faves, like, oh, I don't care if like Taylor Swift does X or whatever, like she's still my favorite. Versus like the people in your life, sometimes I feel like they don't have as much worship or admiration for.
They don't get the same
and-
grace.
That's what
Yeah,
I've always
somebody-
said. Legend
Something needs
Tadpole
to
with the
get-
follow. Thank you so much. You're dripping with
Aw.
Misho now. Thank you for the follow.
Wow, Misho's so dripped out.
Misho is dripped
Damn,
out.
that's upgraded. Yeah, I think you're right, Nick. Is like people don't give that same grace to other people.
That's what I've always said. It's like my friends are my celebrities, you know? Nick's one of my celebrities. Naomi's one of my
Oh, hell yeah.
celebrities. You know what I mean? Like I care about if you look at my like following list on Twitter, it's all legends, you know? Legends in my life. It's not the other way.
So I could do anything and you'll forgive me.
Unless I would stand to benefit a lot from turning you in, then I would cut you in though. I would never just like totally sell you out. I would cut you
Right.
into the
Put that in
sellout.
like an investment fund that'll manifest in like 20 years or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I take a mini detour on
Yeah.
the zine? I just need to get this in. If we're talking about selling out and idol worship, Pedro Pascal fucking sucks. Awful.
What? How long have you been holding on to that?
No, because what he has lined up this year is like The Last of Us and like The Mandalorian. And he's fucking Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. And I'm like, how undignified of an actor can you be? You're pathetic. You blow up at 50 and you're just like, I need to be in every franchise that's currently out right now. He's pathetic. I hate him.
He could be doing anything. It's true. First
He
of all,
could be
I think The
doing anything.
Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is such hot garbage now. It's insane.
Awful.
It's awful.
Yeah. I never watched that. I'm not into it.
Well, you're saving yourself. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
I don't. I
It's
stay away
atrocious.
from those shows, the bad shows.
I feel like
Was that
what's up with nowadays where people really care about their fave celebrity's bag? Like you're like, this is pathetic,
Dude,
artless, and they're like, he's getting his bag.
Stupid.
Get your bag,
Yeah, that's
Pedro.
stupid when people are like, "Oh, yeah, he's getting his money up." Like, yeah, what the hell? Like,
Fuck, you're
dude, what? This isn't a person that was like struggling before. Like,
Yeah, I mean, Nick, you were talking about it in an earlier episode about like the actor strike and how you like really don't care about actors, and I do
at
like
all. At all. I wanted
I
them to
do
lose.
I don't want that, but that's mostly because it has larger labor implications within the. I could care less if like fucking because there's so many rules to like protect actors, and also actors are like, yeah, sure. At the end of the, well, people are also so stupid that like they'll see a bad movie and then be like, oh, that was like Chris Evans' fault for that movie sucking, and it's like no, it's probably like a lot of other people's fault, but also if it's a celebrity I don't like, I don't care. Yeah, sure, it's their fault. That show
Yeah.
sucks. Like, yeah, whatever. And I think the celebrity worship has gotten way worse over time, but I also think that that's in tandem with like this huge like the whatever Gen Z resistance to capitalism there was has completely failed. Like everybody is so into like brands, designers, whatever, like, oh yeah, just buy the things that make you happy and then buy a million things and be in debt on Klarna when you're 24. Like pathetic. And I think that that's all like celebrity culture of like, oh, look at all this fashion, media, blah blah blah. I'm over it. I think that art is dead in a lot of ways, and like, and also it's depressing. Like everybody cares so much about like Phoebe Bridgers and Bo Burnham dating, and you're like, Bo Burnham just left his wife of like 10 years or whatever, or his longtime girlfriend of 10 years. For this girl who acts like she's mentally ill, but she just went to SUNY Oneonta. Like, it's chill out.
There was what bothered me is a few weeks ago, there was like a tweet that was like, it sucks that celebs can't even speak out in support of Palestine because there's a blacklist of people who do. And it was like, I'm supposed to feel bad for the celebs in that instance. That, like, if you're scared of a blacklist and you're like a celebrity, you're a pathetic coward. I have no other way to word that. And what's with Timothy Chalamet being Willy Wonka? How much money do you need?
Well, that's the other side of things too, right? Is like that movie is just being made because it is a company being like, what will people shell out money for? And this is like why it's like you as a viewing audience gotta get fucking hip to it is like
You have
they just want your money so badly to
Yeah.
shove an atrocious where they were like, how should we do Oompa Loompas? Should we make them like more interesting or like compelling? And they're like, no, we should make Hugh Grant like a dwarf and be like, this is fine. He's orange, so it's not
I
real.
am starting to think these like nostalgia baiters have totally lost the plot. I don't know anyone who was yearning for another Willy Wonka movie.
Yeah, the Tim Burton one is great. Like, okay, listen, Johnny Depp, terrible person, but Tim Burton, the Tim Burton movie, better than the other one.
I
I'll
also
say
just
it.
don't.
But the problem is that people see the movies. People
Right,
go to the
yeah.
fucking theater and see the movies, and you
To see
don't
the
have to
Harry
see.
Potter and the Crimes of Grindelwald, and it's like, what the absolute fuck do we care about?
We actually have a question in chat. Do you guys have any hidden talents like juggling, burping on command? Those are the only two talents really.
That's it, and we do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juggle burps. Yeah, did that go through? There we go. That's all.
All right, so that was all on
next-
my
next-
agenda.
But that kind of well, I wanted to talk about this, but I don't know if it would really resonate with you two. Where there's this whole thing in the anime industry about Mappa, this production studio who is like really abusive to their animators, and there's this whole thing now where like Jujutsu Kaisen is like this super popular anime, like the most popular anime, post biggest selling manga, like people were super hyped for an adaptation that is like may get canceled because all the animators are going on strike because they're finally being like, dude, like this is terrible, we don't have any time and it's terrible conditions and stuff, and now everyone's like on the animator side. But like I feel like there needs to be a bigger discussion here because it's everyone on Twitter going, oh, save the Mappa animators and whatever. And it's like, you motherfuckers were making memes about them because this production company has been doing this since COVID, you know? Mappa animators have been treated like garbage since before COVID, when Mappa was buying up, basically this one production studio is buying up all the rights to animate all the manga, adapt a ton of really popular shows and a lot of shows. And because of that, their animation staff is super overworked and they're not meeting deadlines, and like some of the shows suffer. But the reason they keep doing it is because they know that people are so hyped for it that it's gonna, like, they're gonna watch it even though it looks like shit. And everyone's not really taking it seriously. No one was like, save the animators, make them strike, like do this, whatever. They were making memes that were like, when COVID just hit, it was like healthcare workers with like crying about it or whatever, crying like that meme, and then it's a guy with like a bunch of swords in their back and then being like, oh, it's okay or whatever, and it's like, that's Mappa animators, that's like healthcare workers, which is pretty funny. But it was like, it was all a meme because everybody was still getting their favorite shows, you know what I mean? And now that they're gonna pull the plug on a show, it's like everyone's like, oh, what the heck, like they need to be treated better. And I don't know, I haven't fully formulated my take on it, but I felt like this was a good jumping off point to get to it, because anime viewers are the perfect prey for it, and manga readers are the perfect prey for it, because Chainsaw Man, one of the like most, in my opinion, overhyped series in general, overhyped, but the manga was good. The manga was really good. The adaptation sucked. One of the worst pieces of garbage I ever seen. It was worse. It was more terrible than I could even have imagined it as an adaptation. And that's because of these conditions that they imposed. But they got to that point knowing that this was their business plan. They were like, they're gonna keep doing the bare minimum, and everybody's gonna just be, by the time we get to the shit that everyone's been waiting like a couple years for, then it's like they're gonna eat up the garbage anyway. So why do we give a fuck?
Yeah.
So I just think we need
that's
to.
why I think you have to be like very conscious with as you know, not to like fucking lecture people, because it is what it is, right? Like, but you have to remember that like things take a while because it is people like actually working on them, and all this bullshit with AI is so much about like, if you want to be greedy and stupid and watch like your 10,000th Mr. Beast video, like that's fine, you can do that. But if you want like the stories that you enjoy told well and done well visually, like whether that's CG or whatever, like it's gonna take a while. That's fine. It's gonna take a while. Or, you know, they need bigger writers. You know, this is why the WGA stuff was so important. Like they need bigger writers' room and more money and all this stuff. And yeah, huge corporations were basically just on everyone's fucking ass about everything, and it was just like so lame.
I also I can't stand when these people who are rightfully anti-capitalist, but then they think that because they're against capitalism, that markets are like don't exist. So like their consumer choices have no effect on anything. They're like they see the slop, they pay money for the slop, and then they're like, "Well, it's Disney's fault. It's not my fault." And I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
it is kind of your fault
It's
too."
your fault. Yeah.
It's
You
those
should
people.
feel
It's the
bad.
same concept as the people who are like, I'm actually against tipping culture, so I don't tip. And it's like
Yeah.
that is literally not how that works. It's
Ridiculous.
not how that works.
I feel like that is such a take that is like, are there still people like that? You know what I mean? Are there still people like that? Our age group, like seriously, it's
Yeah,
so
I met a
incredible
guy in
to
like a
me.
movie set. He was horrible.
That's insane.
It was
That is insane.
brutal. Hit the next slide though, Bato. I want to get to the next. Not even get to the next poem, but I just don't want to look at this one anymore. Probably not the next one. Oh no, but this one we don't
It
need to
says
read
it's
the
a
whole
bit
thing out loud.
graphic.
Hell yeah.
It is.
Bato, you can get this one.
No, you don't have to read this out loud. This is, I think, a little too not graphic, but
You
it's
want
a
to
little long.
vivisect your breasts and Kentucky fry them.
Not vivisect, vivisect. Like vivisect is
Do
like
we have-
I was trying to think of a word that was like sounded like I don't want to say BB-8. That's a stupid Star Wars thing. I was trying. Sorry. Whatever.
Do we have permission?
Vivisect.
Do we have permission to read it? We won't do anything without your permission.
you can read it. That's fine. I can say.
Yeah. Read it. Nick's like, go ahead. I want to.
Yeah, both of you are like, I don't want to fucking read
I
this.
want to vivisect my breasts and Kentucky fry them. Is it so bad to be seen as a piece of meat? To take kitchen scissors and snip the saturated yellow fat that hangs under my arms, gristle and all. I imagine rolling the corpulence of my stomach up like a yoga mat, abandon it in a corner of the living room to gather dust. Forsake another lofty exercise goal in favor of cheap results. In constant search of the cure for self-loathing, I compare and contrast. My eyes bluer, my thighs fatter. Attempts to recalibrate my brain when my form feels gelatinous. Stare down others, take in their figure, greater than, lesser than, or equal to. Hollow victories, only to fixate on the next petty change to pursue. When I'm out of runway, can I truly propel myself above the clouds, or have I clipped my own wings in the name of beauty? Am I at war with vanity, physiology, endocrinology, or gravity? Thus concludes my years-long experiment. Sleeping naked does not increase self-tolerance, nor does it silence the bitter voice that heckles your reflection. I will carry on for another several decades, confronting myself with myself to determine if I may be mistaken. That's beautiful.
That was hard. Yeah.
That was beautiful.
You know what resonated with me?
Guys.
Forsake another lofty exercise goal in favor of cheap results. When I was at the doctor, I was like, "Can I just get that surgery where you lose weight?" He was like, "Well, why don't we set some goals and change your diet and work out, and then a couple years down the line, if that's not working, we'll consider the surgery." And I'm like, "Can you just do it?" Like, I was like, "You gave me no incentive to work out now."
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I want to get fatter.
I feel like,
Yeah, like, oh, 'cause part of that,
instead of,
part of the implication there is like get fatter and then you'll qualify. You know, like,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, get your numbers up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk.
Yeah, I think it's just like there's, you know, the first line is all about wanting like breast reduction surgery and like how like doctors are, I haven't like gone to a consult, but you know, doctors would probably tell me actually like you're not qualified yet. And I'm like, "Oh, but I'd love to not have these anymore, please. Like they've done enough and I don't need them anymore." But you are so constantly told by other people like how to change your body, but the right way. And obviously there are ways that are like actually healthy and then there are eating disorders, but I think in between it's like you can do a lot of things and it doesn't like diet and exercise doesn't work for everybody the same way it works for certain people. And yeah, I think that everybody has body image issues and sometimes we forget that other people experience them too, and you kind of get very inside your own brain about them in some ways.
I think it's okay to dabble in eating disorders.
Okay, hang on.
Just dabble a little bit.
Dabble. Just dip your feet. Dip your feet.
Do not approve this message.
Naomi leaves. Well, you see the people like the figure skaters, all the people that do that, they're thin.
Yeah.
So you're saying it works.
But it's like,
Is that what you're saying?
like, you know,
then,
Christian
like,
Bale it, you know?
You're
Here's
gonna
the other thing.
Christian Bale it.
Oh no. He's gonna become a meth head. No, I would rather like, because also those people like they're cold. They're always cold, which is like sucks for you. Skinny
You mean
people,
like
but-
temperature wise or like emotionally?
Yeah, they're like because you don't have as much body fat, so you don't
Yeah.
keep heat as well, so you're freezing all the time. And
This is everything wrong with people with eating disorders. They're cold. They're
no, eating disorders, I feel like you fuck up your teeth, you fuck up your like nutrition levels. Like I would rather be like, you know, an unhealthier weight and not like have damaged hair follicles and fucked up teeth than be like, well, I'm like under, you know, 130 pounds, so this is great. Like, nah, I'll take it. You know,
Yeah.
what you mentioned a while ago, Nick, I think about the Renaissance fair, but like we got to go back to that time where having a plump wife was seen as like the
Oh my
ultimate
God.
goal.
Yeah.
We got to get back there.
We never
Just-
left.
Or just being plump.
Just being
Having
plump.
Mhm.
Oh my
You
God.
said big kings would
Big
be
kings and their plump wives.
big kings.
Yeah.
We need that so bad. What was the incentive to progress from that moment in time? Everyone was just fat and drunk all the time. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds lit. Yeah.
We need to go back.
Also, what you said about sleeping naked, I don't know that it's that comfy either.
Ah.
Well, for boys, I don't think it is, but I think that like for men, I know that it's not quite as comfortable. I think you have a little bit more like that can get crushed and squished
Pinched,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
You just
and-
lay it a certain
Yeah.
way, you know?
Yeah,
It
but I
hangs
think
out.
for women, I think it's everyone's preference, but it doesn't. I think like just getting comfortable with your naked self doesn't necessarily like make you feel better about yourself, which is funny because I think that was always to me as like a goal, and then it was like, oh, that doesn't work at all. Actually, it's just like everything sucks all the time.
It
You just
doesn't. I'm
feel bad
naked in
about
front of other
yourself.
people all the time. I'm naked on the internet. It never helped me one bit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, not that I feel, what's the word? Preoccupied about it, but it didn't help. It's like
That thing about heckles your reflection is not anymore, but there was a time in my life whenever I was in my bathroom brushing my teeth or washing my hands or anything, I would look directly into the sink because I didn't want to look in the mirror. It was such a
Oh.
intruding thought.
Yeah, I
There's no
a
punchline,
lot of the time don't look at myself before I go to work. Like I'll put on my clothes and I won't check my appearance because I know that it'll like, you know, it'll be like, oh, actually that looks terrible, so I guess I should go look in my closet for another 20 minutes about what I have to wear. I just
Your
raw dog
boyfriend
it.
needs
I go,
to
like,
hit you
whatever.
with an awooga
yeah.
on your way out the door every day.
You need to come out. He's gonna bang, 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 bang.
Yeah,
The slot
exactly.
machine, all 7, baby.
That'd be funny. No, he's asleep. Sorry.
Ash is happy to share that she was unhealthy for a while, and now that she's in a better place and she got stretch marks and she feels very good, goddamn good about having them.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Ash. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Legend.
stretch marks are normal. Cellulite is normal. Like a lot of things that
And
I
it's
think.
fucking sexy too. Can we just say it's fucking hot? People need to get over
I did
it.
just see
It's sexy.
Jesse
dude.
Plemons in Fargo season 2. And I turned to my boyfriend. I was like, "How do you feel about gaining 50 pounds?"
Oh my god. Jesse Plemons, he's my Black Panther.
Jesse Plemons. Oh my God. Dude, he's goated though.
He's awesome. He's so fat, his skin is horrible. He's a movie star.
That's why we love him.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, stretch marks are cool, and like cellulite, like these are all aspects of our body that are completely normal and expected. And everybody's doing that like buccal fat thing to like the celebrities to like bring their faces in.
What's the buckle
And
fat
The
thing?
what?
oh, y'all don't know about buccal fat?
I've seen
Mm.
people with weird faces in celebrity, but
Yeah,
no.
so buccal fat removal is like kind of this fat right here and here. It's really meant to give you that like if you look at photos of like Miley Cyrus just did it, Sophie Turner did it, Leah Michelle, where they're essentially removing a lot of the fatty tissue from like the cheekbone and below of the face, and it makes them look like fucking Skeletor. Like it's
Little League
so
stuff.
they look
Yeah.
so gaunt, and at a certain point, what people don't realize is once you lose the fat from your face, you actually look a lot older because
Yeah.
when your skin is very plump, like you look very healthy and you just look like you have, and also it maintains the collagen and the sort of light bounciness of your skin. And
Yeah.
and when you lose a lot of weight, you look very gaunt and older actually. And so people are doing this buccal fat thing to remove fat from their face, and I think it's so unnecessary. And I think that plastic surgery is sort of passed down to normal people and made to make you think that it's cool. But I think in reality, like we don't need to do this. Nobody's going to judge our appearance whether or not we have really high cheekbones or whatever.
I think plastic surgery being rebranded as like progressive and feminine is like an all-time psyop.
It's
Like-
nuts.
I agree. I agree.
Just to hop right back into this. Thank you so much to Blazing
Yeah.
Aura for the raid. Gobi came through for the raid, the weekly Gobi raid here on NickyBato. Gobi, how was your stream? And thank you so much for coming through. I'm gonna shout Gobi out right now. Everybody, follow him. Follow the legend. Thank you so much for coming through. But I agree with you guys 100%. This push for the plastic surgery is crazy. The
Yeah, I think
I think
fillers.
I should be able to get
fillers
it.
are-
yeah, you should be able to
What would
get
you
it.
do, Nick? What would you do?
Do the buckle.
No, my face is so cute, man. That would ruin me. Everyone thinks I'm so young too.
They do.
Yeah,
Someone just told you were 23.
yeah.
Really? That's fun. That's
What do you mean,
exciting.
really?
What do you mean, really?
No, it's like because we're so. It sounds bad because you know how old everyone is when you grow up with them. You're like, oh yeah, you're my age. But yeah, sometimes people will be like, oh my god, you're so young. And you'd be like, what? No, I'm not. But it's always an exciting time.
Yeah.
Someone says
It
23.
feels
That's
great.
good. That's a compliment.
Can we get some W's for Lee, who said she can finally eat now that she's on antidepressants?
There you go.
That's
Let's
huge.
go, Lee. Hell yes. Dude. Legend. You are a legend, Lee. A legend. That is awesome, Lee. Hell yeah. That is so fantastic. Hell yeah, Lee.
What do you think a Kentucky Fried Boob would taste like, though?
We've all had breasts.
Don't
in a
human
bucket.
beings taste like chicken or pork? Isn't that like the reports from Canada?
What do you mean report? What have you been reading?
Just that like people have like eaten human beings and then said what they taste like, right?
I've made this case before. There's really nothing wrong with it.
That you want to eat people?
Yeah.
But you would love to eat a boob.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No,
You're
I
turning
would.
down a
I would.
boob?
No,
join
no,
in.
no. It would be it would taste bad because it's like all fat. Like it has no like actual.
If
like,
you
meat
get a
to it.
breast reduction, do you get to keep them, like in a bag or something?
I couldn't even keep my fucking teeth. I had 5 wisdom teeth. I couldn't keep them. So I
No
imagine
way.
that
They
were
wouldn't
not
let you keep the
eating.
wisdom teeth?
I was so mad. Yeah.
What?
Eating that so-
All right, Gobi, calm down. Gobi, calm down. Calm down. There we go.
Oh no. All right, next slide. Next slide.
Next slide,
folks.
let's keep the show moving.
We
Let's
gotta
keep the
go. We
show
gotta
moving.
go.
Once we start eating ass, then no, we'll stick to eating boobs. All right.
You're legally entitled to your removed body parts is very funny.
Correct.
So this one's called Protagonist.
Okay, I'll read this one. You guys have been
Okay.
doing a good job.
Okay, thank you.
Ready? Critical? Sometimes. A thinly veiled exercise. A deeply flawed inner dialogue. Am I truly rotten? I know I'm excessively self-sanctimonious and often delusional. I'm fine with it. The protagonist, toxic at times, portrays the best or the worst.
I
This-
love this. I love this. You know why? My therapist used to always say, don't you want to believe in something bigger than you? And I would say, no. Why would I want to believe in something bigger than me?
Right, exactly. I'm the main character. I'm the
Was
main
your
character.
therapist trying to get you to convert to a religion or something? What the hell?
Yeah, because it was like during my principled atheist phase when I was like 15, 16. Yeah, so that is kind of weird for him to say anyway. But
that is
regardless
a strange angle.
Obviously, be selfless, be a good person, but you are God basically. From your point of view, you're God. Everything revolves around you.
Well, yes, but I want to say that it's not like nothing. It's not like you can do well. No, I almost want to walk it back, because I was going to say it's not like I can do anything,
Right.
but only supernatural. I could do anything else. Anything else that anyone else could do, I could do, and nothing bad could ever happen to me. So yeah, it is a lot like God. So yeah.
I didn't realize I was writing a poem about becoming a god. This was all like cut from like a headline. Like this magazine had this really long stretch about Randall Park. And I like cut all of this out and rearranged a lot of it. And yeah, I think it's about being your own protagonist and how sometimes you convince yourself that like, well, everything I do is good because it's for me at the end of the day. And you kind of have to, but also that I ask myself a lot of the time, like, you know, am I a bad person? Am I like kind of empty or hollow? And but also you're portraying like the best of yourself and the worst of yourself, and what's the word, like sometimes what can be seen as the best, like your vanity, or like, oh look, people posting like, you know, I have a fat ass on Instagram or whatever. It's like that can also be the worst qualities of you if you're vain and you are self-centered about your physical appearance and you have no other qualities. So that's why I was thinking like, you know, the delusional protagonist always makes me laugh. Like
that's really
but also
funny.
those people who are like, oh, NPCs are around me. I'm surrounded by NPCs.
Our reading of it versus the intention is really funny.
I know. You guys are like, yeah, I should be able to kill people, no consequences.
Is that the best of us or the worst of us? That's beautiful. This is a really great one.
Have you ever known that you betrayed someone or did something bad and you just never face it again for the rest of your life and it just sits there like in the back of your head?
Yeah, where you're like, I could atone for this, but I just won't.
Yeah, I
like,
just chose not to. Yeah.
Yeah, too much effort. Yeah. That's part of life, is like we're all, you know, or it's even like when you don't text somebody back and you know that that's hurting their feelings, but then the minute that somebody doesn't text you back, you're like, that's hurting my feelings. How could they do that to me? Like,
yeah,
so
someone
true.
recently really wanted me to meet their baby. And
meet their baby?
I just didn't feel like it. They were in town for like 2 days. I just didn't feel like it. And I totally blew them off. And it's in the back of my head every day that I should apologize, and I just choose not to. Which is really bad. It's like, it's not a good way to act. But I'm not beating myself enough that I'm actually gonna do it. You know what I mean?
You just, you found an acceptable level of inconsideration.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unacceptable in terms of you. Yeah. You are okay with this inconsiderate. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Lee asked, how old is the baby? This matters.
Yes. Under 2, but over 1.
Under 2, but over 1.
Yeah.
They're not going to remember you, though, so it's like, you can just always get them around the next time.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I feel like that's the cop-out that people say about everything shitty that they do to babies. They're not going to remember that. People like drop a baby down the stairs. They're not going to remember that. Or circumcise.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Next one.
Shall next slide. We'll get
save
there.
We'll save that one for manly duties.
Yeah, exactly. My entirely pro circumcision choice.
Your pro circumcision choice.
Well, I'm saying like you can make your choice. You know, don't let society.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Oh, sonnet number 23. Have there been 23 slides thus far? Because
No,
I've been counting.
I liked you know when Star Wars, like I like the idea of naming something like a number where everyone's like, "Where's the rest of them?" And you're like, "Oh, I don't know." Like just making somebody think that they're. I like gaslighting, you know.
That's how I feel about
I
Bound
like it.
too.
Where's Bound 1?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And would you say it is a womanly duty to gaslight?
Absolutely.
Cook.
I watched movie Vertigo recently, and that's a movie all about gaslighting, and that's what women should be doing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. You want me to read this one?
Yeah, you're up.
Can
A
you
long
zoom in a
one.
little?
Yes. Well, this might be the biggest it can get here. Oh, does that make it bigger?
Oh, it's fine.
How's that?
Side note for chat. My birthday's in 2 days, and I actually have to get my license renewed, and it's $80. Okay, anyway.
What? Wow.
Well, I was thinking, it made me think, because this is like an eye test. That's what made me think of it. But you could just memorize those things.
What?
When you get an eye test at the DMV.
Dude, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at it for 3 seconds. If you get the first 2 lines, they go, okay, this guy's got it.
Yeah, he
That's
knows.
it.
He knows his stuff.
That's it.
Okay. Oh, temporary lover, my daydream. Fancy desire outweighs what is untrue. Delusion keeps me safe, a secret scheme. Ignore what's real and hope for our renew. Imagine letters she will never send, and clutch their craved secrets to my core. She'll take my covert words, sharpen the end, and impale me upon my lofty sword. My short-lived bliss is all at once repressed, and more potent in my dear memory. Should her frail ego injure my pale breast, I'd fondly recall bruises left on me. Oh, what a pathetic display I make, to pine for my fair youth, my bold mistake. I know I have to read it regularly, because I wasn't processing while reading.
No, yeah. Well, so I'll say while you're reading, this is an actual sonnet, and I was like, the reason I wrote it is because I was just like, can I write a sonnet? Like, can I write something that follows this very tough structure? And it went through a lot of iterations, and then I was also like, well, what if I just sort of write about a scenario that I don't normally experience, which is like, somebody who like kind of gaslights you, but like sort of takes your words and then uses them against you, and you sort of feel like a dickhead every time you talk to them, but you also still really like them, and you have this made up fantasy of what's going on between you and that person in your head. So that's why I wrote this. And it's kind of funny because I'm like, I don't really have a lot to say about it, but it's just like it was a sonnet and I had fun writing it.
Hold on. This is... Okay, so the line, imagine letters she will never send. Is that you not sending letters?
No, the she is like, this is also, you know, because you can write about men so much, but as a representative of the bisexual community, I was like, what if I write about girls too? And so the idea is like, yeah, that this is a woman you're in love with, and that you wish that she would say all these things to you, and you wish that she would express all these feelings about you, but she actually won't, and she's actually going to turn around and be like, and you fucking suck, and here's why.
Story of my life.
Well, I see here, I like the continuity and the just the consistency here, because you say that if she were to hurt your boobs, you'd be okay with it. You fondly recall. So
exactly.
I see that. Although it would be a short-lived bliss. Oh my goodness.
I like a possum saying, this reminds me of dog poetry, which I'm an absolute sucker for. Well, Tabato, if you would go to the next slide, I'm pretty sure that's
no, not
this one. Oh no.
Not this one.
Not this. Not like this. Yep, there we go. This one honestly is too sad, and I don't really want to read it out loud, but everyone's welcome to take a look at it. But this is a poem about my dog dying. And you both met Buddy, right?
At a certain point. Several times.
Of course.
Yeah, and that was like, it's so funny that he died like the day before the anniversary of January 6th. Like, I don't know why that makes me laugh so much, but it does. That like he got away from being persecuted for his part of the insurrection.
Oh my gosh. He
But
was
so
absolved.
our vet's office is in that fucking strip mall next to McDonald's behind the high school.
Oh wow.
And so we had to go to this parking lot because it was COVID and we couldn't go inside, but our whole family wanted to be there. And I just remember like being so depressed and being like, ugh, it has to be behind the fucking McDonald's out of all places. Um, and that was just brutal. And like, shout out to Dr. Bright, but like, what a depressing
I've
day
heard
that
of people
was.
though who get into the room, but then once they're in there, they can't be in there. They like say goodbye one last time and then leave the room.
Yeah, I did that for my first dog dying. That was like, because the vet says like he might like they might defecate. Like you just don't know what's gonna happen with death. And when I was a teenager, that was just so scary to me. But it wasn't eventful. The second time around, but also like people are like, "Oh, are you gonna get an animal in the city?" And I'm kind of like, honestly, my dog's death was devastating for like a good 6 months. Like, I don't know if I want to introduce another animal to my life that I would like have such a love for, and and feel this way. So, by the way, if you hit the next arrow, you can see. Well, I just have some photos of Buddy, so the
No, no,
Oh,
yeah.
viewing
sorry. Yeah,
audience.
understood.
No, no,
Got it.
the like, yeah, yeah,
There's some
yeah.
photos
You're
of
so
Buddy.
smart. That's at the Vanderbilt house. And there's a line in this poem about like the Vanderbilts had this vast valley of splendor, but they never had a dog like mine. And that's at the Vanderbilt mansion that's in the area.
Mhm.
Um, and I just remember being like, yeah, they had this huge ass house and they're rich as fuck, but my dog rules, so suck it.
It's crazy. A pet is like, I'm gonna be really happy for like 10 to 15 years and then have a hole in my heart that'll never be filled again.
Right.
So no,
It's the risk reward is like
Did he eat the whole pizza?
He ate like 5 or 6 slices.
Goat.
He stole it off the counter.
What a
And that
freaking
was the scene of the
legend.
crime.
What a legend, dude.
Yeah, my friend said something like animals are these incredible creatures who will love you forever and you are nothing but love and importance to them. And then they don't last forever and they die and you have to sort of um experience every moment with them and knowing that you're going to outlive them. And it's a very horrible feeling that I'm sad that everybody has to go through with their animals, and I know why animals mean so much. And honestly, you know what? People complain about like the people who are like, actually, my dog is my child. Nah, fuck them. They can have that. Like, if they want to
oh,
have a
they
dog
can have
instead of
that.
a kid, I don't care.
I've
Go
met a
nuts.
lot
Just
of
don't put your
dogs that
dog on the
are
table.
more impressive than a lot of children.
Better behave too. a hundred
Yeah.
percent.
Well, you spent the day with Sadie instead of your friend's baby, so
Yeah, that's true.
no, that's really yeah.
I
Dang,
agree.
man.
I can't wait to buy all of the animals for like we're gonna have 2 dogs and a cat at my house, my parents' house for Christmas this year, and I'm really excited to buy all of them gifts.
Oh, that's
They
nice.
deserve
Yeah.
it.
Hell
They've been
yeah.
good. They've been good this year.
I gotta get the Mishos a new grass.
Do you think Buddy's playing fetch with Matthew Perry right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. I
That was
think that
fine. That was a good question. What do you mean?
I think Buddy
How come
is
you could say that about humans, but not?
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Why would you say a
You think-
person's playing fetch?
Buddy is playing fetch with like Ruth Bader Ginsburg or something. Like a really
Yeah.
funny like pandemic.
Oh,
Well, she's
my-
not in heaven.
That's true.
She's in girl
Oh.
boss heaven.
Hell. Oh, bravest trauma exhibition.
Yeah, Nick, you really liked this one. I remember you saying.
I loved this one. I loved all of them actually.
If I had stayed a size 10, I could dig in storage bins to find the once worn electric red skinny jeans my mother bought me at Kohl's after I cried in the dressing room for reaching double digits.
Yeah. Wow. Who among us has not cried in a Kohl's dressing room, you know?
Yeah.
I used to hate shopping with either of my parents, man. Because when you go into a dressing room and then you gotta come out and tell them it doesn't fit, it's like the most humbling feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Or
you know what? Would red skinny jeans still be in?
no, they would have like really thrived from like 2007 to 2014. But I bought a pair of red skinny jeans and a pair of like electric blue skinny jeans, and I wore them both like once because I got so self-conscious about them. And I think I had gotten made fun of on the bus, like someone had called me fat, and I just like never recovered. I was like, no, I'm not wearing them ever again. And I never did. I wore them like once or twice in middle school because you have no perception of yourself, and as you get older and you grow up and you get bigger because you're growing up, your brain is like, I'm getting larger, I'm getting larger, I can't take this. And nobody really prepares you for that moment where it's like, it's okay, this is like part of adulthood. You're gonna get bigger and not stay the same size. And it's a weird feeling that I don't think you're really aptly prepared for as a kid.
Why was
If Phil said you cry at Kohl's.
I could understand my doctor doing it. Why the fuck were my gym teachers weighing me? And then
Yeah.
then giving me a bad grade.
What the hell?
You remember that?
What?
I remember them taking
Fitness
your
test.
numbers. I
Yeah.
remember them taking your numbers, yeah.
What do they do with
What?
it?
Yeah. For what purpose?
They're fucking creeps. Lee's right. They're sick people.
They are sick in the freaking
Yeah.
head, yeah.
Mentally unwell. But how do you feel about music teachers, Nick?
Oh, come on. I love music teachers.
Wow. Boomerang. Wow, what a callback.
Rehash that. Well, you know, your mom never weighed me. So,
It's true, she's great.
yeah.
So she's not she's a good she's
Well,
a
that's
good
not what
person.
Nick said.
That's true.
It's really
Yeah.
weird. A class in school would line you up and then fucking weigh you. Not even behind a curtain or anything.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely
It's
the whole
disgusting.
display of it is doing
Yeah,
anything
it's
in gym
insane.
classes. It's
Yeah.
thick.
It's all true. I mean, I can't even there's nothing to say, but like, yeah, it's crazy what. And then I think a lot about how kids these days are going to be so fucked in the head from TikTok and Instagram, and like, if you're 12 years old looking at like women with fillers and veneers and like photoshopping their photos to have like the skinniest waist and the fattest ass, like, you're gonna grow up and just be like, everybody meets no expectations that I have. I have broken my brain, and I'm fascinated to see what that will create amongst children and as they grow up.
Oh, they're cooked. Gen Z's cooked.
Yeah, they're done. So
It's
they have no hope.
Bring in Gen AA.
Now we're going by battery names.
Well, you have to repeat. I'm not doing the Greek letters.
Yeah.
Wait, is that what it is?
What?
Have we gone through the whole alphabet?
Yeah, this is Gen Z. We were Gen Y, they're Gen Z. Now that's Gen
No,
A.
we were millennials.
That's Gen Y.
No
That's
fucking
Gen Y,
way.
technically.
That's how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember
I thought-
Gen
Yeah, they were
X,
Gen Z,
Gen
and now
X,
we're
Gen
Gen
Y, and
Y.
then Gen Z.
I thought you just picked a name based off vibes.
Sorry if I messed up the display. No,
Well,
not vibes. It's
They
like, there's a
give
specific
people
thing.
names like Gen Y as millennials because we were in the 2000s.
No, you're
And
lying.
then Gen Z Zoomers. That's the,
So boomers aren't Gen B?
No.
I thought they were called Zoomers because they had to go to school on Zoom.
What? You didn't know they were called Gen Z?
No, you know people call them Zoomers? The Generation Zoomers.
Oh my god.
This is fucked up.
Embarrassing.
Your whole world.
Yeah, we just redo the alphabet forever?
No, not forever. We just got to the end of it.
When are we
since
gonna
people
die?
started naming it.
Will we see Gen E? EE?
Gen E, like
Like-
person.
When
Gen.
when do you think we'll die? when Gen CC
I
is.
think that Gen E is probably like the end of, because like the boomers have only seen like three, it's boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. So like they're maybe seeing Gen Alpha and then the next batch of kids, but like after that they're gonna die. So if it's like Gen A, B, C, D, E, I don't think we're gonna see E.
Well, they're actually saying our generation might be the first to never die. That we can pick
Oh
when we
God,
die. That's
no,
what they're
please!
saying.
I want
That's
to
what
get out
they're
of here.
saying. Is it another Nick Vibes information moment?
Yeah, you're just tweeting like Elon Musk, being like, interesting. Could happen.
Should be looked into.
Yeah, we're gonna live forever. All right, I'll hit the button. Oh wait, what is this
Yeah.
picture from?
Okay, so a lot of the background, if you look at the you can look at this later, but I made it in a story highlight, is like I broke down like the art of a lot of what I did, and so I
Oh,
took a lot of
sweet.
stuff from Emmy magazine, and this was like a page about a documentary about somebody riding like 100-foot wave, and so he's surfing, and I rotated the picture so he's descending rather than like going across. But that's like a huge wave.
Word.
Oh, okay.
See the
He's
vision.
surfing it.
Naomi, you
And
can
then the
actually.
Bravest Trump
Sorry,
exhibition
keep
is
going.
all from like the Emmy magazine. The titles are also snipped from it too.
I see. Very cool.
You could probably give commentary on this, Naomi. Drama teachers are bad too.
Drama teachers are okay. It's 50-50. They are either like completely power hungry and like psychopaths, and I would say that the voice instructor of our drama club was like that. But I still loved her. Or they're just the nicest woman in the entire world. It's like English teachers, right? English teachers are 50-50. They're either the biggest bitch you've ever met in your life, or they're like, your one ally in a school full of haters. And music teachers, I feel like, are the same. Music teachers are also absolute dickheads sometimes.
What teacher has the best ratio? Like, what subject do you think? I feel like math, they're kind of.
Science?
They get right down to brass tacks,
Math is not
Yeah,
bad.
but
Yeah.
I've never felt such hate in my heart except for math teachers. Like,
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I would say that like
Let's compromise.
2 out of 3 of my math teachers in high school, I if they dropped dead tomorrow, I'd be like, oh, that's life.
That's how I feel about 2 out of 3 people in general that I've ever met.
On this Zoom call? On this Discord call? 2 out of 3 people, Nick?
Next poem.
Wait. Possum says English teachers favored popular kids always. Because English teachers are just one step removed from the gym teacher, right?
Well, you know what? You know what makes it so hard is Republicans are so stupid and they just call every teacher a weird pedophile. And then I'm like, I don't agree with that. But I don't think they're totally wrong. I don't think the ratio in that profession is probably greater than other professions, right?
I guess, yeah, due to the nature of the field, right? Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, okay.
We had in Arlington,
All
there was
teachers
like
are
a temporary chorus teacher who like started
No.
dating a student and got fired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you're right, Nick. We have 3 teachers already brought up in chat that were outed as abusers. Lee has 2 drama teachers.
Good lord.
Casey has a freshman English teacher.
Lee said their history teacher was giving their cell phone number out to girls.
Yo. Wait, Lee, you just said history teachers were chill 3 chats ago.
Did I?
No, Lee said that. Look. Lee just, it was because he was giving his cell phone number out.
Chill.
He was so chill. He was hot. LMFA. Okay, well, this is...
We had an English teacher in 12th grade that was awful.
She was
She was
abusive.
the rudest woman I've ever met.
She was really mean.
Are you talking about Miss G or someone else?
Yeah, but she...
Yeah.
Don't hate on Miss G. You just hate on her because you called her fat one time. You thought she was pregnant.
This is what happened. It was like the Kanye Taylor thing. I made an honest mistake I thought she was pregnant, so I said, "Congratulations on your pregnancy." This was like in September, and she rode that wave the rest of the year, just like getting people to gang up on me, guilt tripping me constantly. Just let it go, woman. Oh my god. First of all, everyone knows you were pregnant. You just but she couldn't live with the shame.
Everyone knows you were. Wait.
She was pregnant, 100%. She was, and then she got an abortion, but she was what do you call them? A fundamentalist. So she couldn't admit that she did. This is the theory in my head.
Miss G was a very nice lady.
She was a fundamentalist, you called her. She hid the abortion. That's so funny.
No.
Well, here's the thing, though, is that, Nick, there were other kids corroborating that pregnancy.
That she was pregnant.
Right?
And I was just the one who was nice enough to congratulate her.
Right. No one else had the grapes. Do you think that in those kids' head that it was true in their head and they just didn't have the grapes to say anything? Or do you think that they were purposely misleading you?
No, I think it was.
Or
they thought it was true.
Would be funny to
no, I
tell
think
you.
they thought it was true because it was true. I also think she really isolated, because 2013 was a weird year, right? That was like when most kids had iPhones, but some of them didn't. But she was teaching the class as if everyone had an iPhone, and I didn't, and I thought that was very isolated in the class. So that is a systemic reason I didn't like her.
Sure. I mean, I made it through with an iPod Touch that year.
Oh, you were. I remember. You were tweeting from a flip phone. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I would text the Twitter. Oh my god.
You would text Twitter.
No way. How?
Yeah, I was tweeting from a flip because I didn't get an iPhone until I went to college, and wow, I forgot about that. That I had the number for Twitter saved, and I would just text Twitter when I wanted to say
Text
something.
Twitter. That's so sick.
She would text
God.
Jack and say, "Can you post this?"
Yo, Jack.
God, I was such a holdout too. I was such a holdout, and Skylar would always tell me to join Twitter, and I was like, no. And then I finally joined, and look at me now.
That's so awesome. I never had that. Was it like they would send you the notifications as texts? Like if someone liked your tweet, what happened?
No, I think you just had to check on a desktop.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I would.
So you're
look on
just
the
sending the
desktop,
tweets.
If people tweeted at me, I would get the text message.
I see.
But I think that if people
if you followed
just
somebody,
liked something, I wouldn't get it.
Gotcha.
I think you could change what you got notified about. So I would, if I got mentions, I would get them texted to me.
Lee says if you followed someone, it came to your phone. No way. You could RT them too, just from the text. That's so sick. I didn't know that. That is really, really sick.
It's like a prompt, right? It's like, oh, do you want to do this, then respond with this, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. We would edit the artsy. That's so good.
Like on Tumblr when you could repost text on Tumblr and change what it said. That was the best.
Yeah.
Love those days.
New slide.
All right, next slide. We gotta go.
Blood orange.
You'll never believe what this is a picture of.
Yeah, this is a...
It's not an orange.
I'll give you a million guesses. You won't know what it is. Well, I'll read it first. You think about it.
Okay.
Well, I'll how about I read it? How about I read
okay.
it? This is one...
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. Do other people stare at their tampons? I am enraptured by the cotton uncorking, spilling the fruit of my inner workings into the proper vessel. Last year, I braved the worst cramp, hunkered in the bathroom of the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, and out came the most massive slab of flesh produced in my fertile years. I had birthed such a piece of me, only to discard it in recycled water. Gone with a melancholy flush, didn't even get to hold it. I stripped myself constantly, preening the skin of my peeling feet, waxing hairy toes to become smooth and swollen piggies, squeezing pores until they cough up blood, ritualistic self-sacrifice. Tampons are enigmatic. I see gunk. I see grit. I see pain. I see red pulp, easy to stomach after years of exposure. Scheduled birth and rebirth. I'm on the clock. I mourn the maternal impulses I lack, the means by which I will let down my family and my best friend, delicately mummified in toilet paper, casually thrown in the trash. And then I'll pull it on my phone, Nick, of what this is.
Is this like a piece of your cha-cha under a microscope?
No, that'd be fun though. Cha-cha. It is a photo of
It's
Lizzo.
Lizzo? Oh my goodness. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Who's your best friend in this?
No comment.
Is that your boyfriend?
No comment.
So he wants kids and you don't. This is heavy.
Yeah, it's an interesting part of life that you don't think about until all of a sudden you have to think about it, and then it
I
gets
think
weird.
you're right. Right?
What do you mean?
I'm right to not
Who wants
not want
kids?
kids.
We know how anti-kids you are. I think you should get a vasectomy just
Let's
to take
do
the
that.
stance.
The next milestone
The
challenge.
next milestone,
Be a live
NickyBato get a
vasectomy.
vasectomy.
But you'll do it.
I'm the one.
Yeah.
You can just
I'll do it.
beat my nuts with a hammer. I can't use. Sorry. It's a serious poem.
It's not
This
really,
is-
but it's not really a serious poem. Though also is like I think tampons are so gross, and but I love them. I know it's, I don't know. When you start your period and you just don't realize that you're like what it actually is. Like people think that it's just like and I'm sorry to anybody who this kind of makes queasy, but people think that it's just blood, like almost like if you cut yourself and like blood drips. But what it really is it's like this almost like layer of skin because it's your uterus shedding. And you don't really process that, I think, until much later when you learn a lot about yourself. But I don't think periods are explained very well to people, and I think it's a really interesting thing to every month, like just look at yourself shedding itself. And that line of like scheduled birth and rebirth, I'm on the clock. Like it's all about your biological clock at a certain point, and you kind of have to ignore it because it's inconvenient, and things like that.
Well, I
So-
like that you kind of compare it to stuff that we don't really think of in the same vein, like waxing your toes or squeezing your pores, preening the skin on your feet. Man, I love doing that, don't you? Peeling the skin
And
off
my
your
feet
feet.
get so dry and cracked
When it's
sometimes.
like
It's
the
like
dry-
nasty, but
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
pull it and you're like, oh man, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Is that what the clotting is? Yes, opossums. That is the lining of your
legend.
uterus, because your uterus lines itself every month in anticipation for a fertilized egg to attach. And so when you don't, that's when your period goes into like shedding. That's what your period is. It's the shedding of. Yeah.
Do you? What do you say to the women that get pregnant on purpose so they don't have their period
Oh my God. Like, why would
and then get a
you can
9-month
just take
abortion?
you can just take birth control. That's the other thing.
Is that like a legit way out, or is that like a kick in the head the other way?
That's like a kick in the head. Like, okay, because you can just take your birth control. People have talked about this. So there's this thing called like a placebo week with pill birth control. I don't use pill
Sorry,
birth
guys.
control.
Sorry.
It's a pill birth control has a placebo week where it's like you'll take
Oh yeah. I know
21
that.
pills.
One of
and
the
then you'll
pills
take-
isn't.
It's like
Like you said, a
it's a
placebo.
daily pill.
Yeah.
And a week of the pills is nothing so that you will get your period, but in reality you can just continue to take it and not get a period. It's just that people feel more comfortable, like they feel like they should be getting a period, so they want to take it and they don't want to forget taking the pill, so they like still take the pill. But you can just go without getting your period if you want to forego that. And also there's like I use like the ring, which is like just a release, a device that just releases automatically. And you could also use that if you want to, but sometimes I feel like it's better to get the period, because you just feel your body goes like, imagine if for like 2 to 3 days like your chest hurt a lot and you felt like you were a balloon that was slowly inflating, and it's almost like a better thing to like let it out than it is to just ignore it and move on. I think that's why people choose to get them, even though they don't have to. But people who get pregnant instead of getting their period is like,
I don't know if that's a real thing either. I just presented it as an absurd countermeasure. But
I feel like there are some people who
there-
will do that, or people who at the very least will like really just crank out kids like
Yeah,
one after the other, and
absolutely.
give themselves no rest time. Or men who will make women do that. Like it's crazy.
Absolutely.
I would be the worst period haver ever. That is so much to deal with. Do you want to know how lazy I am? The other night I was driving home from the gym, and I knew I was low on toilet paper at home. And it was like 10 o'clock at night. You know what my thought was? I'm not going to stop for toilet paper. I'll just shit at Dunkin' Donuts in the morning. Instead of just stopping and getting toilet
You were going to hold your shit in all night?
Yeah.
Because
I didn't feel like stopping. So I would be awful at periods.
You would get toxic shock immediately.
Oh my god.
I mean, I eventually did stop. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. Oh my god.
You would fold.
What do you mean I would
You would
fold?
suck at having periods.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
he was
What do you mean? What do you get from
waxed.
that? Why do you think I would suck at having periods? In what way would I suck at having
Lee
periods?
said I would free bleed, and I'm not even entirely sure what that means. But
You
It
would
just
free
means you
bleed.
don't plug it up. You just like let her rip.
oh,
Like-
that's if it's the most dramatic option. Yeah, I would do that.
Oh my goodness.
It
Dude,
makes me so sick when women get immediately pregnant that month. I don't know. It makes me irrationally angry at the man.
Yeah, like this pregnancy is very hard on women's bodies, and like there's a lot of things that I think still exist within pregnancy that are
how the heck did you get in
misogynistic.
here, buddy? You've been in here the whole time. Ugly
God,
Misho
let me
has been
see.
under my bed the whole time. We can't show him though. He costs 1 million channel points. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Naomi.
Oh, wait, you can't show him? Oh,
He cost 1 million channel points.
all right. I'm working on it. Maybe we can all pool our channel points together.
We could pool.
Wait, we need to get back to this point about
I'm gonna
men.
go ahead. I'll listen to you talk. I'll get Misho
I'm
out of here.
enthralled.
He wants to leave. That's why he's meowing. Sorry, guys.
Well, Nick, I think that like
Everybody
there's
get to
this
speak to
there's
Uggy Bin?
yeah. Oh, he's gone. We'll never know what Misho is up to. Yeah, I just think that like there's like the they call it like the husband stitch, I believe. Like when you give birth, obviously your genitals are going through a big change, and sometimes if you rip, they will sew you up and sew you a little bit tighter, in order for sex to be like better for the man and not the woman.
Oh my goodness, dude. What?
That's very genuinely. People do that, and then women have they have complications because of that. And you know, I just think that in general, pregnancy is not something that is accurately explained to women. It's just you're taught about like it's going to be so natural and so easy. And I read my mother's diaries after I was born. She like wrote me diaries, and one of the things she was talking about was like how awful it was to breastfeed. And you never think about that. Like when you become an adult, you never think about, oh yeah, by the way, it was horrible for my mother to do this thing for me to have life. But then also people are criticized if like you don't go the natural breastfeed route, if you just go formula. All these things that are like imagine being a woman and just like nobody prepares you for like the largest change your body will go through. There's a person on TikTok who has like a list of all the reasons not to have kids, and that makes me laugh every time I see it. Like it'll be the most mundane things from like will throw your groceries all over your car to like you will lose bone density in your teeth, like, and they're all valid.
You said in the birth control there's the placebo pill, right? Like the
Yeah.
one pill. So I was dating someone who was taking those pills, and I used to take them as a joke. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm on birth control," you know, and I would take the placebo pill as a bit. And then one day I like did another bit where I took the real pill and I hid it, and then I was like, and then she went to take her birth control. She's like, "What the fuck?" And it was like, "Oh, I thought that was the placebo one." And then she was like freaking out, and I was like, "No, it's just a prank, dude," you know. But I wasn't putting it on like YouTube or anything. I don't think it was that cruel. She thought it was really funny. It was just a moment. It wasn't like an extended.
He just said, I used to fuck with my girl's birth control and then started cracking up.
But in a fun way, you know,
It
in a
was
not
fun for
problematic way.
everyone.
Do you think less of a guy if he has two kids that are less than a year apart? It's like you couldn't just chill. You know, you had
Yeah,
to
I think
immediately start nutting in your wife again.
I've been watching a lot of Super Nanny, and I gotta tell you, Super Nanny on YouTube is so fun. But you really do see how like everything will fall on these mothers, but then also that mothers will then like they don't want the physical affection of their husbands, they want the physical affection of their children because it doesn't require like, you know, sexually performing for somebody. It requires just like a person who actually like loves you for sort of un unconditionally. And I think that like women are pushed into having children very quickly. Like there are people we went to high school with who have kids right now. Could you imagine having a kid right now?
Several
Like
kids.
crazy. And you know,
Nice.
they're happy with their kids and I'm happy for them and their families, but it blows my mind that you're going to spend 28 years of life living and then you're going to say, you know what? I want to get on the roller coaster that you can never get off of being responsible for another person. And you don't even really know yourself fully. You're only, I have not even lived half of, I haven't even reached 30 yet. And, you know, the idea of having a kid is crazy to me. It's so
I never
mind
wanna
My
get
blowing.
my mom and uncle are like that. They're 11 months apart. Crazy. I remember when my parents would fight, sometimes my dad would say that. He'd say, well, your dad couldn't even keep it in his pants for a year. It was the most crazy shit, dude.
Yeah. Well, if there's anyone who has moral high ground.
I know.
Yeah.
It's my dad, right? Yeah.
Okay, next one.
The next slide. Let's I love the blood orange.
One hot
Thank
second.
you. And also, I love Blood Oranges, and that was also the title's like a play on like pulp and like I actually just like Blood Oranges. I love Blood Orange soda.
Soda. Do they have a Pellegrino of that?
Yeah, they have Pellegrino Blood Orange.
Yeah. Boom. Beautiful.
Delicious.
One hot second.
Okay, who wants to read the horny poem? Not me.
Oh, let's do it. I'm going. The blood racing desire to feel desired, to melt under fingertips like chocolate held too long in sweaty palms. A dull thump travels through synapses and reaches inner thighs, one folded over the other. Overtaken with sweet spontaneity, coming undone at the seams for one hot second. Burning cheeks oscillating between embarrassment and secret gratification. Life's not all about sex, but right now it sure is. It is right now. Our life right now is all about sex.
Well, it's funny. That's like it's kind of in direct contrast to the kids conversation we were having. Is like, um, you know, we're gonna be like old, and you know, as a woman, you definitely go through changes where like your sex drive changes, and so it's like, why not now make everything about sex? Because in 20 years, it's not gonna be. So fuck it. Like this is the time. No other time, but now the present to just be super involved in your own sexuality and your sex life.
That's weird, because when I read this poem, I thought it was anti-sex.
No, this poem is all about uh this poem is all about the first line is the blood racing desire to feel
My hand
desired.
is
So
not on the pulse at all.
I wrote this, well, first of all, I wrote it as an experiment to write without pronouns because I'm a goddamn American. No, because I wanted to not write a poem that was like I, me. Um And so I tried to write about a feeling that I think people experience, which is like when you are both like really turned on and very embarrassed about how turned on you're feeling, and uh, and how a lot of that is based on like spontaneous feeling. And I think people um talk about like dead bed. There's a whole subreddit about like dead bedrooms, But the reality is, I think that when you force things to feel exciting, it never feels exciting. But if it's spontaneous and it's off the cuff,
Mhm.
it often is like one of the most exciting experiences you can have with a person. Um, and so that's why I wrote this. And I was like, I don't know, I just wanted to. The line "Life's not all about sex, but right now it sure is," I think is ripped from my diary. I'm like, I would go through my diary and like read things that I had written, and like the next poem I think we're gonna get to is like all just straight up from my journal that I like edited. Um, that was really fun. I don't know. This is like a feeling I just had.
Do you think that's plagiarism to read your own diary and then use it? In a
Yeah.
way, it
Yeah.
is.
There should be a footnote because
Yeah.
right now you're writing as Naomi made a zine. And,
Right,
that was
and
a
I
work
should
of
be
Naomi Calhoun,
Yeah.
exactly.
the MAGA.
This is a hot poem, though.
This is
What do
really.
you think, Samara?
Is this your real
Corny
lips?
jail. No, this is that's taken from an advertisement for American Horror Story, the new season of American Horror Story.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I cut out, and then the background is. So I did all of this in Canva. Actually, the background is like this piece of mirror paper I found in my office, and then it's actually very reflective, but for some reason the scanner didn't really mirror anything, of course, because I think it's just such a plain background with no light. But I love the fingerprints. I love the dustiness that you can see on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I also kind of love this aesthetic. I love this awful like chrome paper and this font and color scheme. I don't know why. Just like to me it's like almost disco.
It looks
And I
like
thought that was
cum,
fun.
too.
Oh, that's true.
It does.
I like that.
Oh, this is the Phoebe Bridgers album, right? Stranger in the Alps.
No, that's
No, I'm
that's also
joking.
from sorry, I'm a Phoebe Bridgers hater, so I know nothing.
That's why I
Sorry.
wanted to say that to you. I wanted you to.
I appreciate it.
wanted to. I was putting the nail. I wanted you to be the hammer.
I wish we had time to get into that because I really like Phoebe.
I just think
The roast was so
I don't
fire. You said she just went to SUNY Oneonta. So funny.
I don't think that Phoebe Bridgers is a bad artist because you were ripping into Taylor Swift in another episode and I was laughing my fucking ass off because I hate Taylor Swift also. But Phoebe Bridgers to me is like your friend who's like, "Oh, I'm so gross. I'm so awful. I'm so like fucked up." And you're like, "Yeah, you're like mean to people. Like that's not cool."
That's pretty funny.
But then she'll be like, "I'm like kind of like crazy. I'm like, the girlies on Tumblr who are like,
with the
yeah, I
bag
thought
of
about
Doritos
cutting
on their
myself."
head.
Yeah, and you're like, you never did. So like, whatever. Sorry, it's so mean. I shouldn't be saying any of this.
That's so funny.
We could get more into this on the 24-hour stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
We'll
We'll call
I'll
you
spend
for
a whole
the Phoebe
time.
Bridgers.
We'll call you
hate.
at 4 a.m.
Yes. 4 a.m.
All right.
Yeah, I would love that. Okay,
Body, you got this one.
Okay.
you can do this.
Self-determination. I felt like a feral animal when I lived alone. A raccoon. Grubby paws nabbing family-sized boxes of cereal off Rite Aid shelves as the sun barely began its rise. Indulging in the lack of responsibility, hiding in the shadows of being nocturnal. Am I too domesticated these days? My mind is a constant churning loneliness. A hotel hot tub that's always on. The grime doesn't settle if movement never ceases. How are cycles broken? I'm too weak to know. I am perched on an observation deck above my own earthly presence. See how the need to be admired is my only driving force? Kind but selfish. How I am flexible, congenial, yet dishonest to those from whom I seek love most? Bending at every opportunity, whether it breaks or strengthens. Where is the nearest emotional gas station to fill up my void? I drown myself in others' affection because I covet the validation. Yet I produce nothing of substance. Avoid judgment, reap flimsy rewards, subsisting on a steady diet of indulgent, cursory praise for my body and quick wit. So morally non-existent, endlessly bubbling distraction. All I am is a series of character flaws.
I said, let me end on the most depressing note I can. And
That
it wasn't
was-
the dog dying.
This is really existential.
Yeah, I think it's a lot like the protagonist one we were talking about of like, thinking to yourself like, what are my qualities and are they worthwhile?
all you need is one flimsy reward per day, so you don't kill yourself.
Yeah, you just need somebody to tell you you're funny, somebody to say like, "Oh, I really like your makeup today," and you'll be like, "Great, that's fine. I deserve to keep living." Yeah, the line. What did I say? Uh, oh, power cycle's broken. I'm too weak to know. I don't know if you guys relate to this, but like, you want to change yourself, and then you just can't. You can't commit. Like, you want to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
something differently. You want to exercise more. You want to go eat less or whatever, and you just can't fucking commit. And you're just like, you know what? I'll just go back to my habits. Who cares? Like, nobody's gonna police me for this, but you should be policing yourself.
I don't know how the fuck anyone does everything. You know, people who are like just really healthy, happy.
Yeah.
How the fuck, man? They have kids, they got a wife. You know what I mean?
They get up at
I
6 in the
think it's not
morning,
real.
like
I think
they're rich. Least
I've
so
said this
rich.
before. I think all of this stuff is completely undoable. And as soon as I realize that, and then I go to jump off the bridge, someone's gonna rip the simulator helmet off my head and be like, "It's okay, dude. Like, you don't actually have to do all this stuff." Like, I feel like right now I'm in a computer where I'm watching everyone else do a bunch of stuff that seems entirely unfeasible to even like have the time for. There's so little time in each day. And I'm like, how are you guys doing this? Like, it is so overwhelming. Like, even people who clean their apartment or house every day, I'm in constant awe of. That was my little rant.
Yeah.
It's a Truman Show.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. It's like
a Truman Show.
we just got
We got 3 gifted subs from Naomi flexing, but we wanted to. Dude, Naomi, thank you so much. That's so awesome of you. Thank you so much.
I just love that people were here to listen to the poetry. I thought that was so cool, so I want to be nice back.
Oh, dude,
See,
absolutely.
this is interesting.
We love this.
Lee said it's like doctors that have a picture perfect life, but they are hella cheaters. But I'm even jealous of people who can cheat. How do you have time to do that?
How do you not get caught?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but also that I you know what we were talking about of like capitalism, consumerism, like that. All those like TikToks of people like having these collections of like Stanley mugs or like water TikTok, or it's all like showing off wealth and being like, you could actually also look wealthy to your peers, or you could take these vacations or look happy on Instagram together or whatever. And I think we in particular, I think Gen X and below has been trained by social media to essentially say like, if you present yourself on social media, you will look more impressive to the people around you. And it's kind of why I don't really post on Instagram much anymore, like, or Facebook, because I find that it's like you're trying to brag, and then all of a sudden you're like, does this work? Does this make me feel better about myself? And I'm not like full Buddhist or whatever. Like, if I take a hot photo, if I take a good selfie where my makeup looks good, that shit's going on the timeline. But, you know, being like, wow, I'm so excited to move into my new apartment with my best friend, and we are so excited for our New York City adventures. Like, oh my God.
My Instagram that I use now, it's mostly like people I really like, fellow lost souls, you know. But I had one that I used until early college, and I accidentally logged into that one the other day, and it like sent chills up my spine. It was like people I don't like at all. It's just babies and houses and weddings. And I was like, this is disgusting. I can never log into this again. The worst person you know from high school right now is in a great marriage.
Oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because I think that I think that a lot of people married ugly guys. That
Facts. That's a
I'm about
throwback
95.
That's a throwback to your last episode
one.
of NickyBato, Naomi. The name of that episode was Ugly Boyfriends. So now this has evolved to Ugly Husbands. It is evolved.
I'm convinced that they got married to people who don't know where the clitoris is, and so it's like. But also, you know, my other theory is that women are not really taught about how sex works for them to make it good for them, because it's A, close your legs and don't get pregnant, or B, it's like, yeah, well, men will do this. And then you're like, okay, what will I do? And they're like, well, we don't know. And so if you're like former student athlete of a husband, like you cannot convince me that that man is making you sexually satisfied. And sometimes I think you don't know what will sexually satisfy you. I hope it for everybody, but I don't believe it.
Wait, just so I know that you know, where is it?
It's under the hood.
This
next
is
to the place you put your dipstick in. It's a car joke.
Casey said, my second marriage was awesome on Facebook, and I think it was just some sort of redemption PR for him. You remember that fucking guy, Greg?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he posted 40 pictures a day.
Insane.
I knew.
Is that one of the people you admired from afar, being how does he have the energy to do everything?
Yeah, then in real life, he's just a bumbling, lazy fuck.
Lee said it's always some dude named Greg.
Being named Greg is a red flag.
Yeah, how did he, a fool like him, end up with the most stunning, beautiful wife, be it for a time? What? What? Effing Greg, man. Dude, that's what I'd say. Yeah. I just find all the social media overstimulating, too. It's too much. It's too much for the brain to handle.
I'm very envious of people who are entirely unplugged.
I would love to be like that. I spent an hour, I feel like, last night, and I like have like last night was part of my insomnia, but I was like looking at like 2 notifications. Took me an hour to just like read them and just digest them. I was just to the brim. I can't do it. I can't scroll. I can't look at messages of all these reels without feeling like, oh, what is there to this? Like I keep like scrolling up and down on the same thing, you know, feeling like I'm missing something, and it's like I can't click these reels. Like I don't know. It's hard. It makes my life worse.
Everything is like Facebook is trying to mimic what like Tumblr and Reddit and Twitter were, which is like this endless scrolling. And Facebook, in particular, feels like a cesspool where it's like, hey, do you want to see like let me scroll through my Facebook right now and see if I can find like an insane Facebook group that I'm not in, where I'm like, why am I getting this recommendation? Or it's just like all advertisements, or a Facebook group that's like moms of Manhattan, and I'm like, I'm not in Manhattan and I'm not a mom. Like, why am I fucking getting this? Oh, that Midwestern mom is literally something I just got suggested to follow. Like, and it's just a photo of like a man and a wife.
Maybe they just think you'll be into it for some other reason. Because that's how I think, like,
you throw it at them, yeah.
Sometimes, like, our friend Anthony will send me like a bodybuilder thing, super like cringe stuff, like super cringe. Like, I mean, it's funny though.
Yeah.
Like at baseline, it's cringe. I'm not saying that Anthony isn't aware of what the comedic value is. Like, there's a reason he's sending it, and I'm almost like, I want to like it. Not because I endorse the material, but I want to see more of it. I want to trick the algorithm into showing me this funny shit, you know? So it's kind of weird.
You'll like there's a comedian my boyfriend and I really like called Eric Rahill, who's really good at like almost that vibe, but like is a comedian and you know is making fun of it a little bit. I'll send it to you, but he's always hilarious to me. Where, you know, he's like grind mentality, you know, but not really.
Wait, is this the last poem?
It is. I think this is a poem in general about like feeling empty inside and feeling like, what do I have within my character that makes me worthy and makes me valuable? And sometimes isn't it easier to just stay up until 3 a.m. and like eat cereal and not feed yourself and be not perceived by the outside world?
That frog.
And the answer is no, that you should try harder. I love this. Can I? You know the song that's like, like the sad saxophone music? That's what I hear every time I look at this photo. I love this photo so much. I have a print of it in my house because I just love this little frog so much.
It's so awesome.
That's an Instagram called Neat Cool Fun. That is like, she has the best stuff. Yeah, and sometimes we are a little frog in a big city, lonely and still loved. Like, I think what we were just talking about with social media. It's so easy to feel alone. It's so easy to see people you know hanging out and thinking, like, I have nothing to do on a Saturday night. Nobody wants to hang out with me. Which is also why I've been trying lately to go do things that I wouldn't I would say no to because I would be lazy. And I'm enjoying that change. But sometimes we all think we're lonelier than we are, you know?
Totally.
I think there's also, we in our lifetimes have seen a gradual death of free public stuff to do. Like,
Mhm.
you know, people used to join bowling leagues or like church. Nobody goes to church anymore.
Nobody goes to church.
There's
Because church used to be church, but before everybody had free coffee at the church.
yeah.
And then afterward, they had more free coffee.
Now you gotta go to Alcoholics Anonymous for that shit.
Yeah.
We should do that though.
Go to church.
No, find like a meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should. Find an
Well, that's
addiction
my-
meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. I appreciate Opossums saying that I sound like Mitski because that is somebody I respect. I respect Mitski.
That's so funny. That is awesome. Dude, Naomi, thank you so much. You're a little
Yeah.
This was
fraud.
fun. Thanks. Ash just wrote a really nice message too, and I this was so fun, you guys. I mean, I love talking to you, and I love listening to this podcast all the time. But this was really fun to like go through because, putting your art out there is scary. But all I can say is to everybody is like, yeah, just fucking make a private Instagram and let whoever you want in there.
Yeah.
And then say no to people that you went to high school with who you feel embarrassed by reading about your period. It's easy.
Simple legends.
It's
Simple.
so true what you said, how like after a few years everything you've done becomes cringe. Because like 3
Yeah.
years ago I started a podcast with my good friend.
Hard
I've
nerd.
been sitting on that since that home.